There's a scent of a turning point in Foxborough today. An old wish from Patriots Nation has reignited. One absence could shake our entire defensive plan. A vital rookie set off an alarm in protection, and a young target took a leap nobody saw coming. The thread tying it all together? Decisions that set the tone for the season right in week 1. Who's going to seize the spotlight when the game gets tight? You won't believe what we've got today. So grab a seat, drop a like, and let's dive straight into the news. But hold on, because the first clue might change how you see the entire Sunday. The season opener delivered everything. A stadium at full boil, a bitter rivalry on display, lightning stopping the action, shoving matches before and after the delay, and an early ejection that changed the temperature. Jalen Carter headed to the locker room. The game got even more physical, and every snap turned into a turf war. In the middle of that chaos, one detail hooked Patriots Nation. A.J. Brown was practically written out of the offensive script for the entire first half. For many in New England, that sounded like an alarm and an opportunity. When a player of that caliber disappears from the game plan, the fans' imagination takes the field and starts sketching scenarios we know all too well. You can't separate that feeling from the draft scar. The night the Patriots chose N'Keal Harry while Brown went elsewhere became required reading in any roster-building debate. Add in the expectations from this past offseason, with plenty of talk about new connections and influences, and the stage was set for the fan base to light up. Social feeds flooded with edits of the wideout wearing red, white, and blue, alongside reminders that he grew up admiring the Patriots. There was even the famous photo of the Julian Edelman signed jersey he received, a stinging symbol of a what-if that never quite died. To be fair, Brown didn't finish empty-handed, as first catch came at 1:44 remaining, 8 yards that helped drain the clock and seal the win. Even so, the feeling lingered. If a playmaker of that size is used timidly on a big night, the noise returns. And when the noise returns, the questions follow. Will he demand more targets? Will he air out his frustration? If this pattern repeats over the next few weeks, the temperature in Philadelphia rises, and with it, speculation. In that space between plan and execution, Patriots Nation sees a small opening to get into the conversation. The math is tough, though. An immediate trade would force the Eagles to swallow more than $16 million in dead cap, not to mention a high price in picks. Their coaching staff insists Brown is central and will remain that way. Improbable isn't impossible, but it's far from likely. On our side, the tactical fit is crystal clear. A dominant X changes coverage, commands a safety's respect deep, opens in breakers, and strengthens play action. He would take pressure off the young pass catchers, expand windows on third down, and raise production in the red zone. There's also the cultural impact. An alpha competitor sets the practice standard, demands execution, elevates the receivers room, and creates a ripple effect for the quarterback, tight ends, and O-line. Visionary, that's the kind of move that accelerates a rebuild and turns tight games into wins in 3 plays. But desire without a path becomes a soap opera. To move from dream to possibility, 2 things need to happen at once. Brown's usage has to stay below acceptable levels, and the player himself has to signal public discomfort. Until then, it stays on the radar for those who like reading the market and anticipating moves. And that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. The silence at practice said more than any presser. Christian Gonzalez remains out, and every day he's not on the field lengthens the shadow over the opener against the Raiders. Terrell Williams tried to throw the weight of the decision onto the collective, saying the defense will be called the same with or without no bowl. But every fan knows that's not quite true. Gonzalez is the kind of corner who tilts the field. He locks onto the opponent's top target, enables more aggressive schematic variations, and frees the pass rush to hunt. Without him, the equation gets heavier. The problem isn't just talent, it's timing. Year 3 was supposed to be consolidation, but that July practice injury ripped 5 weeks from his ramp-up and now threatens to open the season with a hole exactly where the Raiders are dangerous. Davante Adams is still a monster on contested routes. Jacoby Myers knows every corner of Foxborough, and if used right, Hunter Renfrow is a nightmare in the slot. Without Gonzalez, the pressure falls on Carlton Davis, Alex Austin, and Marcus Jones, plus a name that surprised in the summer, DJ James. That quartet will carry the responsibility of slowing an offense that loves to hunt matchups. The coach didn't hide his confidence. He said Austin and Jones read the game, adapt technique to the receiver, and that their versatility is a card to play. James, meanwhile, became a practice standout, going toe-to-toe with veterans. That energizes the staff, but in reality, it's a trial by fire. Because if Gonzalez is the constant shadow on WR1s, without him, the defense must function as one, adjusting coverages, tightening communication, and not giving up explosives. The margin for error shrinks. Fans feel it in their bones. On forums and group chats, the mood swings between despair and blind faith. Some believe this is the perfect chance to show off depth, while others fear the absence will expose flaws and cost an opening loss at home. Starting 0-1 with defensive leaks opens wounds that are hard to heal in a season already carrying the weight of a rebuild. It's the kind of storyline that cranks up tension in the stands before the kickoff. So here's the question: risk rushing Gonzalez back, or protect him to avoid compromising the rest of the year? Williams sounds firm in his call it the same philosophy, but the truth is, every snap without Namaru will be under a microscope. The defense's immediate future runs straight through this dilemma, and the opener against Las Vegas has already become a laboratory of nerves. And that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. In Foxborough, every line on the injury report becomes debate fuel, and the latest one brought mixed emotions. On one hand, a piece of good news that warms the fan base. On the other, alarms that can't be ignored. Afton Chisholm, the preseason sensation, was a full participant and is on track to debut against the Raiders. 12 catches, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in just 2 preseason games. This kid earned his spot the hard way. The fans who roared through August now have every reason to expect live fire on Sunday. But excitement runs into serious concerns. Gonzalez's absence is already being felt, and now the name on the report is Will Campbell. 4th overall pick, rookie left tackle, the blindside protector. The rookie flashed promising run blocking, but he still wobbles against edge pressure. With an ankle ding, the risk grows. Who keeps Max Crosby and Malcolm Kunze at bay if he's not close to 100%? It's the kind of doubt that steals sleep from fans and flips every red switch on the coaching staff's dashboard. Christian Barmore's presence, even limited, brings hope. After battling a serious health issue in 2024, the defensive tackle looks ready to return at full strength. Run defense and interior pressure rely heavily on his burst. If he's on the field at speed, the Patriots gain depth and instant impact up front. Fans remember well, before the medical scare, Barmore was one of the most dominant pieces on the front, capable of collapsing pockets on his own. Seeing his name trending toward active is a confidence boost all by itself. But the balance is delicate. An opener against a physical Raiders team leaves no room for half measures. Chisholm inspires, Barmore encourages, but Campbell worries. The offensive line is the foundation, and losing a premium rookie this early could destabilize the entire plan. That's why every blip on the injury list shakes the mood. What seemed like Thursday paperwork became debate fuel. Can the offense hold up with patchwork solutions? Is the defense truly ready for trench warfare? In the end, fans take a breath and realize we're about to live through an opener loaded with emotion, where every snap will be measured not only by the scoreboard, but by the health and growth of our pillars. Because this is exactly the kind of scenario where a season's narrative starts getting written, and the Patriots arrive with enough drama to fill whole chapters. But wait, because what comes next is even more unbelievable. Bouty entered the offseason surrounded by trade chatter. His name was considered expendable, a throw-in for some future deal. Then the script flipped. Now he's trending as a Week 1 starter in the Patriots offense. That jump didn't come out of nowhere. Wide receivers coach Todd Downing laid it out. Bouty stopped being just raw talent and started acting like a complete professional. Nutrition, recovery, film study, daily discipline. Everything that doesn't make the broadcast, but decides who sticks and who disappears. It showed on the field. After a solid season with respectable numbers, Bouty decided to use his head as much as his legs. The staff noticed the change. The locker room felt the impact, and the fans shifted their tone. Those who once wanted him moved now see a potential key piece, and if, say, Gonzalez won't be on the field, Bouty has a chance to balance the scales by sparking the offense against the Raiders. The absence of an opposing starting corner could be exactly the opening for a statement game from the young wideout. Here's the most symbolic part: confidence. Downing didn't just praise technique, he praised mindset. That's what Patriots Nation has always demanded: players who embody the Foxborough standard. Bouty is taking that step, and seeing someone who was questioned answer like this gives the fan base real fuel to believe. In a rebuild, these internal evolution stories create identity. If the offense needs consistency, Bouty can set the rhythm. If it needs respect, his crisp routes force defenses to rethink their calls. If it needs soul, his off-field commitment shows there's real buy-in. That's why Sunday against Las Vegas feels special. It's the stage where he can turn confidence into production and maybe silence the trade rumors for good. And while we're freaking out about that, you can already feel this Sunday shaping into the kind of game that can tilt an entire season. It was a roller coaster worthy of a season opener. The long-standing A.J. Brown dream reignited debate. Christian Gonzalez's absence stirred anxiety. The injury report news fueled hope and fear at once. And Bouty became a symbol of growth and belief. That mix of frustration, expectation, and confidence defines the heartbeat of Patriots Nation. Because every piece, every detail can change the course of a game or an entire season. Now I want to hear it. Which of these storylines do you think will most impact the team's immediate future? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss a single chapter of this journey.